What's up, superstars? Back with another video. You got Superstar Rob and you got Superstar Nation. How you guys doing? Oh, man, beating me up every single day, guys. If you haven't already, don't forget, become a superstar. Smash the subscribe button, join the Superstar fam, hit the bell notification button to get every single video, every single day. We do not miss. We're on top of the space, and we're here to provide our opinions, our input, and of course, we want to provide a community that we can all discuss and learn together. Also, thank you to our VIPs. You guys are amazing. Thank you for supporting us through all these months, through all these years. The super duper rares are coming up, the 2-year mark. So thank you guys for your support. You can reach out to us at any time. You like the video, you want to talk to us, X, Instagram, or Discord. Really recommend you guys join our Discord. All of our giveaways are going to be run through our Discord. Make sure you join. And shout out Diamond, because Diamond in our Discord sent me the link to this settlement, which has now led to this video idea. So thank you, Diamond, for sending it my way. And we're going to definitely talk about it probably after we post the video. But guys, there's some like big news right now in the space. This is a landmark precedent in the space. Now, I have no law background. My day job, I am not a lawyer. So this is my interpretation of this settlement and of this lawsuit. And you guys can give me your thoughts as well in the video, in the comments below. You can reach out on Discord and we can talk about it. And if you are anybody who is in the legal, who has a legal background, I would love to hear your thoughts as well in terms of the Dapper lawsuit and what exactly that means for this space. But Dapper Labs settled because of NBA Top Shot for $4 million US as a result of a group of their customers getting together and putting together a class action lawsuit. Specifically for securities law violation. And basically what they argued was that, and I'll go down to here, the legal challenges filed in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York argued that NBA Top Shot moments should be classified as unregistered securities, linking their value to the success of the platform. This is crazy, right? Because we've heard this before, and this is a discussion that's been around for a long time. And this lawsuit, I think, has been around for a long time as well. But the argument is that they are liable for the success of the NFTs that people purchase. So people bought them in response to the assumption that the offerer, which was Dapper Labs or NBA Top Shot in this case, was going to provide value to them. And that would cause price appreciation so that they can flip it. Plaintiffs also claim that Dapper Labs manipulated the market and delayed withdrawals. So the space has developed quite a bit here, and this is a complicated case because there was also the Flow blockchain part of this, where Dapper Labs also was responsible for Flow blockchain, which these things operated on. So they had control of the blockchain, they had control of the Flow token, they had control of the NFTs, they had control of the withdrawals, they had control of what they argued, the future success. They manipulated the market maybe by their timelines. I don't know exactly what they mean by that. But long story short, the judge deemed it worthy for further investigation because the Flow blockchain was less decentralized than other networks like Bitcoin and Ethereum. So in the end, in the settlement, they actually had to take action. It wasn't just $4 million or we're going to keep moving forward. It was $4 million. And it says here, as part of the agreement, Dapper Labs will implement business changes, including transferring Flow tokens to an independent Flow foundation and enabling third-party marketplaces to sell Top Shot NFTs. So what you're seeing here is it's necessary, the need for Dapper to offer as much decentralization as possible and detach themselves, the company, from the network that is providing the ability for people to trade, sell, buy, and create different entities to give people the most amount of freedom as possible so that they are no longer tied to the success of the token. Roham, CEO of Dapper, actually had a massive tweet on this. Everybody should go read it. And he basically is very happy that in the end, they successfully defended that NBA Top Shots, they're not securities in the same way trading cards are not securities, and that Flow blockchain is actually a decentralized public network, and it's not what the original argument was, which is that Flow blockchain is actually because it's owned by them and serviced by them, that they are pretty much, it's a private blockchain more than it is a public blockchain, and therefore they become more liable, right? So these are Roham said these were the main allegations that they wanted to prove. So that's why they settled. But I think the big thing here, and it's a long post, guys. Like, you guys should definitely go and read this. But I think the big thing here is in his follow-up tweet. And it says here, fun fact, I'm going to read the whole thing because that last sentence, that's really explains everything. Fun fact, we already trod the consumer NFTs are not security ground years ago. We worked directly with lawyers and regulators while developing the original NFT standard in 2017 and before launching CryptoKitties on Ethereum. That said, this was the first time settling the debate for Dapper Labs NFTs on Flow, given Dapper originally created Flow but no longer controls or is necessary in any way for the network's operation, as we have stated previously, and this settlement confirms. So it's a complicated case because you have the blockchain component tied to also the NFT component, and they were able to prove that these things are now public, and basically in the future they're going to give people as much control as possible so that you can do what you want with your stuff. That detaches their liability from the success of the token, which is what they argued. And yeah, I think he even talks about this. I think it's here it is. Like, we believe it says leading up to the Flow Crescendo network upgrade this July, I expect Dapper will roll out account linking to everyone by default, letting users easily go from custodial Dapper wallets, which keeps them safe and allow for easy onboarding, into the non-custodial wallet world. In this new world, developers can build anything they want permissionlessly, while users can still benefit from security ease of a custodial account. And this is the point of this video, guys. The point of this video is that Web3 non-custodial technology is needed. It's not just a want anymore. It's a must for all digital collectible companies, period. And there's one in particular that I know has a full-blown walled garden right now, and that's Veve. All the other ones that we follow on this channel, if you look at FlickPlay, if you look at McFarlane, if you look at others, they have some self-custody component to the NFTs so that you can detach yourself from that. But if you look at Veve, it's a walled garden. They have full control of all of the NFTs. It has to be their marketplace. There's no third-party marketplace. But now they need it. If I'm understanding this correctly, and this is in the US, okay, but they operate pretty big in the US, so I'm pretty sure they're not going to get away from the jurisdiction of the United States. Not a lawyer, but this is my assumption, okay? They're going to need some kind of non-custodial marketplace and non-custodial wallet, and they're going to need a third-party marketplace to start detaching themselves from the success of their tokens. A lot of people on Veve, and I've been here long enough, they honestly believe the same things that these guys believe, that the success of their stuff is based on the company. I've heard all of these things before. And I think that this case is a wake-up call for the entire space, that if you're going to do a digital collectible project, if you're going to do an NFT digital collectible project, you must find ways to allow users the most amount of flexibility to be a true free market, like a physical trading card. If you own a physical trading card, it's not a security. There's maximum flexibility. You can sell it anywhere you want. You have the full control. But on these walled garden approaches that we're used to right now, you don't have that. You don't have that true flexibility. You have a contained marketplace. You can't even do a transfer if you don't want to. There's no way to have self-custody of the token itself. And what complicates this even more, and specifically with the Veve side, is they have the OMI token on top of all of that. Where does the OMI token fall into this? Is OMI token like the Flow? Because what they had to do, and it says here, Roham talked about it. He didn't give away all his Flow. He says Dapper Labs does, and will continue to be a major holder of Flow and a major builder in the Flow ecosystem. The future of our product is fully open and composable, letting owners do anything they want with their assets and letting developers build new and innovative experiences without traditional limits. So this is just back to the example where they are allowing maximum flexibility for innovation, developers, and owners do anything they want. And this is the result of this lawsuit. And I know he mentioned it somewhere here, but this is it right here. He says, The settlement also involves Dapper Labs reaffirming its commitment to the decentralization of Flow, as well as confirming the full transfer of all Flow coins as part of the ecosystem development to a development reserve to the Flow Foundation. So I believe what this means is anything that was protected for development actually is going to be moved now to the Flow Foundation, which is outside the company's control. It's independent, so that they're basically arguing, look, we have Flow tokens, but the ones that we protected for development, we let go of because the blockchain's public now. It doesn't need us anymore for success. The blockchain can run itself at this point. So anything that we had preserved for development, we're going to wipe our hands off. And we know in the Veve case that there's a development wallet for OMI as well. So again, guys, this is an interesting case. You have the crypto aspect of it, and you have the NFT aspect of this. And I'm personally seeing a lot of similarities with Veve and this case. Now, I think Dapper, you got to remember, these guys have been in the game way longer. They're a way bigger company. They have a lot on the go. Anything's possible, but I personally don't think Veve has any kind of immediate concern. But I think that if there was any question on their end about whether they should go self-custody with the tokens, like a wrapped, for example, using a wrapped ghost token in order to give that flexibility, permitting third-party marketplaces, which we know are in their terms of services. If there was any question about that, I think that this settlement and the results of what Flow actually had to do, or Dapper had to do as part of this settlement, it basically proves that this is a must for Veve. We must see decentralization in some capacity. And it's no longer a want. I believe it's a need for the company. The company must look at this lawsuit and they must adapt and apply to the best that they can the lessons learned from this. Because if they don't, well, what does that mean in the future? Like, what happens if a bunch of disgruntled people start making the same arguments and they have this case as the precedent? I think this is now high up on the priority list. I don't think Veve could wait anymore. I just did a video a few days ago, maybe even yesterday, I don't remember, guys. But we basically said we don't believe self-custody is going to be number one on their priority list. After this, I think it should be pretty up there on their priority list, because why expose yourself to these regulatory issues if you can fix them? And we've seen in the space people fix these with a dual prong approach, where you have the in-house, but at the same time, you have the outhouse, right? You have the third party, you have something external. And then when you do these things, we've learned now from other companies, your KYC is less relevant because you can force everybody to a third-party marketplace to deal with the money. And then they come into your app, they can just focus specifically on the collectibles themselves. You don't have to worry about managing that. You don't have to worry about KYC and these things, which helps detach yourself, again, from the valuation of the NFTs. And therefore, the argument that the users may say, well, my NFTs, my digital collectibles are dependent on your success, and therefore you are now liable and connected to this, and you're doing things, the argument would be basically you're doing neglectful things that are hurting my investment, right? Even though we know they're not an investment. Based on this case, this is kind of the argument they're making, right? They manipulated the market, the success is tied to the company, and therefore the company has to act in a way that will benefit these NFTs. They need to do something now. I mean, they can no longer just put it on the back burner. And then the OMI token is another thing, right? Because what are they going to do with the OMI token? Like, it's not really a chain. I think that one's just a little bit different, but there's just some concerns there on how OMI is specifically being used as in the development wallet. So they obviously have great interest in the success of OMI, because if it appreciates, basically their bags have expanded and they can do more development, right? But at the same time, they're teeter-tottering, giving it utility within the Veve app. So the moment it's in the Veve app now, right, if you have 10 million OMI, you're going to be getting some MCP points every quarter. I think they themselves are still trying to kind of figure out, okay, what's the best balance on how you use the OMI token to give it some utility, but you don't tie it so badly that something like this could arise in the future from OMI holders, right? So this is complicated. I am not a lawyer on my day job. I have absolutely no qualifications to comment on this case from an actual legal perspective. This is just a random guy on the internet reading this himself and giving you his feedback and his opinion on what this means. But I want to know your thoughts. Like, I would love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments below. Like, is this not something that you personally see similarities like I do? Or do you think that these are two separate cases completely? They're not related, and that, you know, it doesn't really matter. There's there's no concerns from a company perspective. And I just want to know from the space in general, do you think digital collectible companies going forward have to now focus on self-custodial wallets of different degrees? Because, you know, I mean, what's self-custody when ownership, right? What degree of it is ownership? And in my opinion, it's always been giving people the flexibility. He talks about it right now, the power, the control to do what they want. It says it here. I'll do it. I'll highlight it. Letting owners do anything they want with their assets. That's the key. Giving people the ability to do what they want with their assets. Give it away. Sell it on third-party marketplaces. You know, do things like if you had a real physical trading card. If you wall garden it, you take that away. You limit things. You can't do that. This case tells you you probably shouldn't do that because of this settlement that came. And who knows? It was a $4 million settlement. It never actually went the whole 9 yards. But I think this settlement is still something that every company in the space, if you're a digital collectible company, you need to pay attention. Let's be honest here. Most digital collectible companies anyways are related to Dapper. So they're already they've already started building for this. They already are ready to go. We got EVM coming next month. Like, these guys are already ready to go. They are the father of NFT, so they are very aware of what's happening here. It's just other companies that don't have the same experience as these guys. They got to look at this lawsuit and basically adapt to what Flow is adapting. And if, you know what, if a company already has a third-party marketplace, they've already done a huge first step in protecting themselves from any kind of regulatory issues in the future. So there's this complicated case, guys. I'd love to know your thoughts below. Like, what do you guys think? What's your opinion on this? I thought it was a really interesting topic, so I'm excited to talk about it. And I'm pretty sure this won't be the last time we talk about it on this channel. This is just my opinion. We're probably gonna have to do this again when Joe comes back. But guys, if you haven't already, don't forget, become a superstar, smash the subscribe button, join the superstar fam, hit the bell notification to get every single video, every single day. Also, do a superstar VIPs, $200 a month. Start beside your name, access spreadsheets, giveaways, guys. Thank you so much. Take care. We'll see you next one. Bye-bye.